of the statement of financial position. We need to write down the heading, statement of financial position as it, I'll put any date, right? And now let's underline this. Let us put dollar signs here, right? So the first column, we're going to say cost. This second column, we're going to say depreciation. Depreciation. The last column, we call this net book what? Net book value, right? So we start with non-current assets. Non-current assets, right? Underline. Non-current assets, these are assets with the duration of more than 1 year. So we can have examples like buildings, right? Buildings, the cost maybe, let's say XXX, then they have depreciated XX. Then if we subtract here, we're going to have a value. Let's say another example of a non-current asset. Let's say have motor vehicles, right? The XXX, depreciate XXX. Then if we subtract here, we're going to get what? A value here, right? Then you can add as many non-current assets the company has. Then add these totals. Then the cost, you get this total, then also get the total. We're getting the totals in each column. Then here we double underline because we no longer want to use these figures, right? Then after the non-current assets, remember the balance sheet follows this layout: assets and liabilities plus what? Equity, right? This is the equation. This is the equation of the balance sheet. Say assets is equals to what? Liabilities plus equity. Right. This is the balance sheet. It's balancing here with the equal sign. Right. Our assets, remember, is further categorized into current assets and non-current assets. Right. Now here, since I've already written non-current assets, I'm now coming to what? To current assets. Current assets, you've got slow down, please, blah, Charlie. That is stock, debtors, prepayments, bank, cash. Right, the other name for the word stock is what? Inventory. The other name for debtors is trade receivables. Right. Now we put the amounts at the middle column. At the middle column. Then if we add the total amounts here, we get to arrive at this figure. Right. This arrangement is important because these assets are arranged in the what? Liquidity what? Form. Now this total, let's put this total at the final column, right? Then if I add the total of the what? The total of the non-current and the total of the current assets, I'll get a figure, and we call this what? Total assets. Total assets. Then skip on to go to equity and liability. Equity and liabilities. Equity and liabilities. Equities and liabilities. Then here we have what? Non-current liability. Non-current liability. Non-current liability. Non-current liability. Right. We've got what? Long-term long-term loan, long-term loan. Right. Put the amount. We've got then we have what you call then current liabilities. We've got creditors. Let's put the amount here. Right. This long-term loan amount, we can just put these figures in the final column. Even for the creditors, let me put it here. Then current liabilities can also have like a bank loan, right? We can have any other liabilities. Then we add the total, right? Then the total of the non-current liability and of the current liability, we have got the total of the what of liabilities, total liabilities. Then we also have equity. The name for equity is what? It's capital. So capital. So capital is considered capital. Let's say you've got an amount for capital. Then you add the other equity, which is what? The net profit. In the case of a sole trader, the net profit the person has gained. We can have this figure from the net profit and loss account. Then add here. Then if we add the total of the liabilities plus the total of equity, we get to arrive at this figure. Then we double underline here. This figure should be equal to what? Should be equal to this total figure for assets. The name of this figure is called what? Total liabilities. Total liabilities and equity. This is the layout of the statement of financial position. All right. So you can put different assets and liabilities. This is the new layout. We should have the figure for the total assets and the figure for total liabilities and equity. Right. The other name for the long-term loans is debentures. This can be what? Debentures. Right. Bank loan or bank overdraft. It's a liability. This is the layout for the statement of financial position. Thank you.